If you've had this desire to transform your life and you feel like you're not getting where you want to be, and you feel like you're stuck in this rut or you're stuck in your current state and everything you're doing, you just can't move forward or transform, this video is just for you. So stay tuned and we're going to help you out. What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So super excited about this conversation that we're getting ready to jump into. Before we jump into it, some quick housekeeping. Definitely, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to it. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you comment. Make sure you hit the notification bell. It definitely goes a long way, and I definitely would greatly appreciate it. We're a new YouTube channel, and we're definitely trying to grow. Definitely trying to make sure that we hit our benchmarks that we've set out for ourselves. So definitely make sure you, like I said, subscribe, hit the notification bell, like, and comment. With that being said, on today, we're going to talk about transformation. Transformation is a big thing. Transformation is a big deal in life. I feel like if you want to grow in life, if you want to move forward in life, you have to transform. If you are in your current state and you're in that same state next year, 2026, or let's go, if you're in the current state and you're in that same state as you were in 2024, you're likely, some part of you is likely depressed, frustrated, mad, angry because you haven't grown. I can tell you, when I've been in my current state and it's been the same state as previous years, it's definitely not been a fun, enjoyable life, or just, yeah, there hasn't been an enjoyable life for me. So I had to learn how to transform. I had to learn how to grow, and that's what we're talking about today, is transformation. So with that being said, I have this thought on transformation, and I've read tons of books and I've listened to tons of content over the last few years, and all of them, all of the content and books I've read in regards to transformation, it all seems to go back to one thing in particular. There's multiple things, but it's one thing in particular that everybody constantly talks about and you read about, and that's your environment. All right. If you want to transform your life, you have to really change your environment. And the reason for that is because your environment is going to either do one or two things. Your environment is either going to reinforce who you currently are and who you've been, or it's going to support who you want to be, who you're destined to be, who you're purposed to be. All right, let me say that again for you, because that's good. Like that's good teaching right there. Your environment will either reinforce who you currently are and what you've been doing, or it's going to support your destiny. All right. So you got to change your environment. You got to grow. You got to move forward. And it all starts with environment. Definitely starts with environment. And when I say you have to change your environment, I want to be clear. I'm not saying that you have to up and move. I'm not saying you got to move across the country. If you can, great. But I'm not saying that you have to do that. I'm not even saying you have to move out of your current house. But you got to change your environment. You got to unpack things. You got to open up to where you're not dealing with the same things. Because if you can't and you're still dealing with the same things, then growth, transformation will constantly lack. All right. So got to change your environment. So changing your environment is the overall topic of this conversation. We got 3 points that will help to change your environment. All right. Point 1 is you got to clean up your space. All right. When I say you got to clean up your space, I want to be clear. Cleaning up your space isn't just being in a clean environment. Cleaning up your space is, yes, being in a clean environment, but it's also cleaning up your mindset. All right. It all starts with mindset. Anybody that tells you that they can transform without changing their mindset, they're giving you false information. I think I did a video back before, a few videos back, maybe 3 or 4 videos back, and I talked about some transformation stuff, and I started that video with mindset also. All right, so you got to change your mindset. All right, because when you change your mindset, now you can move forward. If you don't change your mindset, then you're going to constantly go backwards. You're going to constantly reflect and just do over what you've been doing. As far as cleaning up your space also, yeah, operating in a clean, sanitized space, it's good for the mind. It frees the mind. It opens up the mind. It gives the mind this sense of like, of freedom, of cleanliness, of openness. But that doesn't mean that you got to have everything spick and span. I'll be honest. I was reading a book, Take Your Seat at the Table by Anthony O'Neill, and he said something in the book, and I was like, wow. Like, it hit hard for me because what he said in the book is how I am. I constantly clean my office. Like, I clean my office every week at work. But every week, I mess my office up. And when I say I mess it up, I'm not saying it's trash or anything, but I have papers everywhere on my desk. I have notes over here, notes stuck on my laptop or my computer. Got scribble scrabble on my blackboard at work. There's notes everywhere across my desk, and documents all over because stuff is constantly coming to me. But with that being said, I'm still able to function in that, and that's how I'm getting stuff done. But that doesn't mean that I'm in a disarray or unclean environment. So, not saying that everything has to be spick and span, but you have to know what's going on, is what I'm saying. And again, starts with mindset. So make sure you clean up your environment, get your mindset right, and you'll be fine. You'll be on that path to transformation. The next thing I would advise anyone to do that's trying to transform your life is to audit your digital space. When I say your digital space, I'm not just talking about your social media, but I'm talking about like your television and all that too, and we'll get there. But first, you want to audit your digital space, and we're going to talk about your social media. So you want to audit your Instagram, your Facebook, your YouTube, your TikTok, whatever your whatever social media apps that you're on. Audit them. And why you want to audit them is because there are certain things that you don't need to be following anymore if you're trying to transform. There are certain people you're subscribed to that you don't need to be subscribed to. There are multiple things that are distracting you. So for instance, if you are trying to transform to be a better husband or a better wife, and you've had problems or issues in the past with infidelity or just wanting something else versus the person that you decided to marry, then you following Instagram models on social media isn't going to benefit you. It's going to actually keep you in a current state versus helping you to transform. So if that's you and you're trying to transform your marriage, audit your social media and stop following people that may be models on social media or anything like that. If you're somebody like I was, so part of my transformation was I was trying to become debt free. However, 90% of the people I followed on Instagram was content creators for sneakers because I'm a sneakerhead. So how can I become debt free if I'm constantly following sneakerheads and constantly saying, okay, I got to buy these shoes. I got to buy those shoes. I got to buy those shoes. There's no way I'm going to become debt free. I'm going to constantly be in debt. I'm going to constantly be maxing out my credit card, trying to buy all of these different sneakers because of all of the content that I'm following. All right. So if you're trying to change your life, transform it, you gotta audit your digital space and unfollow, unsubscribe things that you shouldn't be following. The same thing with your TV, right? If you have a subscription to Netflix, Amazon Prime, I keep wanting to say Chat GPT. I don't know why. HBO Cinemax, Stars, whatever. If you subscribe to all of these different subscription platforms, they're causing you distraction. So when you're auditing your digital space, I'm talking about complete digital space. Your television, your laptop, your phone, any apps, anything that's causing you distraction or hindering you from growing, you got to audit it and then you got to remove it. That way you can grow. If you don't remove it, then you're going to be in the same state that you were last year. And you're going to be wondering, why haven't I grown? Well, you haven't grown because you haven't changed your environment in the sense of auditing your digital space. Your digital space is part of your environment. And if you don't get that and realize that, then you're not going to grow. And that's fine, but then just understand that you will still be in your current state. But if you want to come out of your current state, audit your digital space. I guarantee there's multiple things that you're following that you don't need to follow. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing that you're following. I don't think it's a bad thing that I follow sneaker heads or sneaker content creators. However, when I'm trying to become debt free and I'm trying to become a millionaire, it is a problem because right now it's just a distraction for me. And I don't need those type of distractions when I have this goal. So audit your digital space, remove, unfollow, unsubscribe, the different things that are causing you distractions. And the last thing would be, you got to surround yourself around people, content, and energy of where you're trying to go versus where you've been. All right? The reason why you want to surround yourself around people of where you're trying to go is because those people can help you get there. All right? For instance, in the book I was reading, the individual said, hey, I don't ask my parents for advice and I don't surround myself around my parents when it comes to my business, when it comes to running a 7-figure business. Now, I'm not saying that I don't get advice from my parents. I get advice from my parents on how to raise my family because my parents obviously raised me to be a respectable young man. So I get advice on how to raise my children and how to be a good husband and how to do this from my parents. But I'm not going to get advice from my parents on how to run a 7-figure business, how to run a 6-figure business, because they haven't done it. So you want to surround yourself around people in the industry or the way that you're trying to go that can actually help you get there. That's what I'm basically trying to say. You want to surround yourself around people that can help you get where you're trying to go, so then you can eventually reach back and help others. For instance, I have a friend, a buddy of mine, who I used to always be with. Like, we'd be on the phone for hours. And this buddy of mine, he's always on vacation, it seems like. And him and his wife, they're constantly on vacations. They live a fun, enjoyable life. But they're constantly in debt. Well, I don't want to be in debt anymore. So I can't surround myself with that buddy because they're always in debt and they're always in a certain state and they're living life to the fullest for them, but that's not how I want to live life. So I can't surround myself around people of where I've been. I have to surround myself around people where I want to go, right? There's this saying that birds of the same feather flock together or something like that. If I want to be a doctor, I'm not going to surround myself with plumbers. I'm not even going to surround myself with a lawyer. A lawyer is successful just like a doctor. But if I want to be a doctor, why would I surround myself around a lawyer or a plumber? I should surround myself around other doctors. If I want to be a millionaire, then I need to find other millionaires to surround myself around. I don't need to surround myself around people that just work regular 9-to-5s like me, even though I do. But I need to also surround myself and spend more time with the individuals who are millionaires already. With your content, like I said, when you audit your digital content or the content that you consume, you should be consuming more content of where you're trying to transform to. So if you're trying to transform to a better husband, you should be consuming content on how to be a better husband. If you're trying to become a millionaire, you should be consuming more content on how to become a millionaire. Simple. And then the energy level that you should be around should match where you're trying to go. You shouldn't be around people that's dragging you down and killing out your energy. Like, people can drain energy out of you. So if you're around people that's draining your energy level, it's not benefiting you. It's actually hurting you. All right. With that being said, like I said, you got to change your environment. Once you change your environment, then start putting things in place. Clean up your area, clean up your surroundings, focus on mindset shift, then audit your digital space. And from there, surround yourself around the people, the content, and the energy of where you want to be. You do that and you're going to grow. I can guarantee it. You're going to grow. You're going to move for it. With that being said, later.